Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is Power Play, and we're joined as always by Chris Uminski. Chris, how you doing?
Doing good, Brian. How are you?
Doing well. Interesting times. I mean, we could start off with that. Yesterday, I talked to Jack about the COVID situation in the NBA, and I feel like we got some similar stuff happening in the NHL. Why don't you take it from there?
Yeah, so the Ottawa Senators a few weeks ago had a few games canceled because
Mm,
there was a COVID outbreak. The latest thing that's going on is now the Calgary Flames have a pretty serious outbreak going on with them.
mm,
And the Bruins played them just a couple of days ago, and now it's starting to go around in the Bruins. Game is actually starting right now, and Brad Marchand is on the COVID list, which
mm.
I don't like that.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, I don't want to speculate too much, but do you think there's a potential for another, like, I don't know if a cease or like another, like, reevaluate? Maybe we make a new, like, bubble. Is that even possible at this point in the season? Probably
Um,
not, right?
Well, it's interesting because there's more wrinkles in it this year than there was a couple of years ago. Because
Mm,
not only do you have games being canceled already, but this might affect whether or not the NHL goes to the Olympics.
mm, that's a good
Or
point.
they might pull out of the Olympics, which I mean I would be very sad if
Right.
that happened. But I think it's possible that we get a delay. The NHL is unique too because we're dealing with two countries.
Mm,
Like the NBA has the Raptors, they're one team in Toronto.
yeah.
But
They
here
can
you're
always
dealing
move
with
them.
the only way I could see them continuing the season is doing a bubble and doing the 2020 division, separating out all the
Mm.
Canadian.
Yeah, and I mean, so, like, last year they did that just because it was easier to have just the teams in each respective, bubbles just follow what was happening for the, like, or for the countrywide rules.
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
and like the other reason they did that too is because the border was closed.
Oh,
So
right. Yeah. Of
if
course.
they'd wanted to, the Canadian teams wouldn't have even been allowed in. So
Mm. Oh man. Well, we'll see what happens here. Obviously, it's an extremely fluid situation, but not great, Chris. It's not great for us sports guys.
it's not.
Like the Rams just shut down their facilities
Yeah,
after
but
playing yesterday. Odell Beckham got COVID. He played yesterday.
it's a rip.
Yeah, no good. Oh man. All right. So, away from COVID now, what else is on the docket?
So the Bruins just came back from a road trip to Western Canada.
Mm-hmm.
It went very well. They got 5 out of a possible 6 points.
Very nice.
Um, so I'm gonna recap that a little bit. Um, Sorry. So they played Vancouver up first, and they lost in a shootout,
Mm,
which we've talked before. Vancouver's not a very good team this year.
right.
So I'm a little disappointed that it came to that, but the way they're rebuilding their organization, we talked before, is
Mm,
going well for them. Um, on Thursday night, we played Edmonton, the Oilers, and we beat them 3-2.
nice. Very
Which
nice.
that's that's impressive to me because the Oilers are one of the best teams in the league this year. They have Connor McDavid, who's just he isn't human.
Right.
So I'm glad they and then they played the Flames on Saturday, beat them 4-2.
Mm,
They were already down a bunch of players because of COVID.
right.
Now because of that, I had Marchand tonight is on the COVID list.
Oh man, what a mess. But right now, trending positively for the Bruins. You would say outside of COVID.
Oh yeah, we're definitely on the upswing right now. Quarter way through the season, like people start talking about the playoffs. I
Mm,
personally think it's too early, but
yeah.
in the conversations I'm seeing, the Bruins are now in it, where maybe a couple weeks ago we might not have been.
Mm.
Um,
Hey, that's good. And we have an overabundance of goalies, it seems.
Yes, and that was the best part of the road trip.
Hmm.
The tandem, both Swayman and Olmark, especially Olmark, all had wicked good games.
Hmm.
Jeremy Swayman had, I think, like a 42 save game. One game. Olmark had a big save, had a big number save
Hmm.
as well. And overall, like, I'm very happy with our goaltending situation right now.
Right.
Still practicing, but at this point, I can take him, relieve him.
Hmm. Hey, so that's good. I mean, they have options. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, of course. Well, so the Bruins are on the upswing, as you said. I guess we can kind of talk about a franchise that seems to be on the downswing. The Phoenix Coyotes. They nearly got evicted.
Oh my god! So I think we had just finished recording the last video.
Yep.
I think like 10 minutes later, I texted you, like, "Holy shit! The Coyotes are about to be literally evicted." What happened was, so they've been having their dispute with Glendale, Arizona. We've talked about that before. The city manager informed the organization they had, I think, 13 days by 5 o'clock, whatever the date was, December 20th. By 5 o'clock on December 20th, they had to have repaid all of their back taxes, all of their basically like repay their taxes and caught up on the rent. And like, I'm thinking to myself, like, they were already going to get kicked out of their arena anyway, but like, imagine if they get locked out at 5 o'clock on the 20th, because that's what the memo said. It was like, we will come and we will change the locks.
That'd be really embarrassing. People like joke like about like, oh, this is a poverty franchise. That would be a poverty franchise, like getting locked out of your arena.
Well, like, and the owner of the Coyotes was trying to say, like, oh, it was human error. Somebody in the accounting office, like, if that is the case, then somebody got fired.
Oh, for sure. I see you have a Dunder Mifflin shirt on. They have Kevin from The Office working in Phoenix, clearly.
I think I said I like Jerry from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
But like, my thing is, like, they need a new arena anyway. They're looking at maybe building one not too far away in Tempe, Arizona. They can't afford to pay their taxes.
Yeah.
How are they supposed to build a brand new arena?
Hey, I would imagine, like most owners these days, they would try to get the city to pay for it. But then would you even want them there? You know?
Yeah. It's not like people are going to their games. It's not like they're a good team. Like I truly do not understand why the NHL stays in that market.
Yeah.
Gary Bettman, the commissioner, it was his idea to put a team in Arizona.
In the desert.
Yeah. Well, I understand the reasoning for that. He wants to grow the sport. That's why they're moving into all these untraditional markets like Vegas, Nashville, and that's had some success in some places. The Stars, a very fan base in Dallas. The Predators do too, and even like the Hurricanes are getting more popular down in Carolina. But just, there are two teams that are not living up to it. It would be the Coyotes and the Panthers.
Right.
Even though the Panthers I have hope for, because they're easily a cup contender this year. They still they have a lot of trouble getting people in the Miami area to go to the games.
Listen, I've watched a lot of Dolphins games. They just have trouble getting people to go to sporting events, except for the Heat. The Heat consistently do well, I will say. But there are a lot of empty seats in the Dolphins Stadium. We'll put it that way.
Dolphins fans, if they want to watch a team that wins, they should start going to Panthers games.
Hey, that should be their slogan. It's like, hey, we actually win the games, so come here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It came out that there's an ownership group in Houston ready to buy the team.
Mm-hmm.
There was also a group in Kansas City that might be interested also.
All right, I feel like Kansas City works for hockey more than Houston does.
Kansas City, I think, would be a great hockey town. People tailgate the AHL games there.
Yeah, so like, I mean, it's cold weather like area. Like people probably play hockey growing up there. It makes sense to me.
Like hockey's already huge in Missouri because the Blues are so good. I think Kansas City would be interesting. I think they end up in Houston though eventually.
Yeah, just a bigger market.
What the NHL needs to do is they need to force a sale of that team.
Mm-hmm.
The owners of the Coyotes, they've mismanaged the hell out of them.
Yeah, they couldn't even put the ice like correctly. I mean, very famously.
Yeah, and because their ice quality sucks, they can't get name players to go play there, except for Phil Kessel, but he's at the end of his career.
Right. He's worried about hot dogs more than anything, it seems.
Fuck Waiters kids. That when I see that, I always think of Hot Dog Timmy.
Very good sketch. Anyone go watch that.
Yeah, so I think Coyotes just need to move. I would like to see them at the New Year or the All-Star break, just move out of Gila River Arena and play the rest of the season in Quebec.
Yeah.
Quebec built a new stadium for the sole purpose of attracting an NHL team.
And it hasn't worked yet.
Hasn't worked yet, but I mean, like their AHL team plays there now.
Yeah, so that's it. I feel like Canada would support AHL pretty heavily. Oh, yeah. I feel like Canadians just love hockey.
Yes, they do. But yeah, like they want, and I think that would be a good way for them to test out if maybe a new Nordiques team would work in Quebec.
Right. Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. Obviously, we talked about it before. I'm rooting for Hartford. Unlikely. Probably Atlanta's probably unlikely, given that they've lost 2 teams in their history. Yeah, so I don't think they'll go back there for a third time.
Yeah, Atlanta's not going to happen. Yeah.
Oh man, R.I.P. Thrashers.
Thrashers and the Atlanta Flames.
Yes. Oh man.
I think Quebec fans deserve a team.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see like the battle of Quebec, also between Montreal and Quebec City.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, so I think you have it right. Like, if not Kansas City, give it to Quebec. It'll probably go to Houston though, as you said.
I wouldn't mind them in Houston.
Yeah, Houston's a big market, so it makes sense.
It's the biggest market in the United States without an NHL team.
Yeah, so
second biggest in North America.
Right, that makes sense. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anything else you want to touch on before we get on out of here?
Nope. I guess I'm just praying that COVID off, and paying attention to the Jake DeBrusk stuff, paying attention to the Coyotes, and the Evander Kane stuff too. I guess.
Yes, he might come to Boston. Who knows?
Nope. Oh no.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't put that out there. All right, Chris, where can they find you online?
Best spot on hockey Twitter is Chris_Uminski.
Yes.
Always the best hockey news, best hockey memes.
You'll follow him there. You can follow me on Twitter at @theFakeBMar. It's BMARR. Channels on Twitter at Wicked Good Sport or WG Everything. Instagram Wicked Good Everything. Twitch.tv/Wicked Everything. And on TikTok, search Wicked Good Sports. This is YouTube.com/Wicked Good Sports. Finally.
Uh,
Finally got the URL. So thank you everyone who subscribed. We really love talking all sports, especially hockey, here with Chris. And yeah, Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all in the next one.